So first, very happy to introduce Valentina Barbuto, who is Policy Officer at DG Santé at the European Commission, and she will present us the review for the DG Santé perspective. Thank you for being there.
Thank you very much. So, thank you to the European Access Academy for inviting us, the Commission, to be here, and I have the pleasure to be the first speaker in this session. I thought it would be a good idea, by way of an introduction, to go back to what is the role of the European Commission in this process, in the implementation of the regulation on health technology assessment. We are providing, of course, the Secretariat, supporting member states in all their functions. But we also have to provide legal support, and we have adopted a number of implementing acts. I'll tell you more about this. But we are supervising all the procedures of this entire initiative. And we have been tasked also to assess and manage the conflict of interest in relation to both representatives and experts, as well as to do a lot of work on the IT platform, that is the platform that we created when the regulation was adopted, to ensure the secure exchange of the information. We also have a public page, and I'll tell you also more about this later, where you can find a number of important information on the implementation of the regulation. And we facilitate the HTA Secretariat within the unit that I'm part of in DG Santé in the European Commission. We also have the task to facilitate the cooperation with the European Medicines Agency. I think I don't have any additional slide on this, as I'm sure Michael will elaborate further. But I think it is also important, since I still receive a lot of questions on what we do and what the regulatory side of things do. So I think it's important to say again that these are two different processes. We respond to different remits, but as Secretariat, the Secretariat within the Commission and the Secretariat responsible to develop the interface at the agency, we are closely in contact, because in fact our starting point and the final point, these are really coming from the regulation. So the coordination group of member states, they do have to adopt 30 days after the Commission authorizes, gives the authorization to the marketing application. And we start the process once the submission is validated from EMA side. And also the internal deadlines that we have are really fixed to the deadlines in the centralized procedure, in terms, for example, on the submission of the dossier, or on the draft, the submission of the draft report. We have, as I said, I'm happy to say that we have completed the adoption of the implementing acts in the preparatory phase. This is not the end of the work on the Commission on the implementing acts, but we have all the procedures now in place. You will find them also on our website. There are 6 of them. The last one was recently adopted on the 17th of October, and it provides the procedures for the joint clinical assessment of medical devices. This process has not started yet, but is foreseen to start next year. And the rules that you find in these implementing acts are complementing the rules that you have in the regulation, and which are further complemented by the guidance adopted by member states. So just on the state of play on joint clinical assessment, we have 10 ongoing joint clinical assessment. We just updated, this information is available on our website. Yesterday night we updated the table that we have on the website. So there are 10 cases ongoing, and it's here I think it's nice to have a look at the map, because we are really expanding, and quite a few countries are already involved in at least one joint clinical assessment. Some others have already committed to be involved in some of the upcoming procedures. On joint scientific consultations, also very good news. We have actually endorsed 2 of them already. So this, I have had a bit of a chat with some of you before the start of the session. I understand most of you are familiar with what we do. This is a voluntary process, though I think it's important to remember that under the HTA regulation, we don't have fees for joint scientific consultation. We do have a selection process led by member state, and we had during the 2025 there were 2 request periods in which the developers could submit their request. The Commission is doing, as I said, a lot of work to identify the experts, but we really depend on the subgroups to tell to us what is the expertise needed. This is a long chain. I won't go through all of it. Suffice to say that the Commission identifies the expert, then the experts are invited to submit their declaration of interest. We assess the interest, and we submit the names to the subgroups who then select the experts. And then this process is completed with the help of the Brussels Center for Collaboration in Health, and Marcus will tell you more about this later. We are developing this system with the help of the stakeholder network, where we created a working group in this respect. This is just to make this a bit more real. So this is happening. So more than 40 patients and clinicians were already selected for joint clinical assessments and joint scientific consultations. The Commission is working hard also to develop. Now we are building IT help desk, because we found out that most of the questions in the initial reach out to experts who are related to IT matters. We will do more on communication, as we are developing also a dedicated page. I have 2 slides just to briefly mention that we have an IT platform, as I said, where the work is really happening. So all this work is happening via the IT platform. It's important to mention that also our interaction with health technology developers, once the process starts, is going through these microspaces that we created on the platform, and then it moves to the workflows. And here, just to explain, this process starts with the submission of the letter of intent from the side of the health technology developer. And it's also important to keep in mind that the space that is given to the developer can be used and needs to be used also to update us if there is any change, for example, even pre-submission in relation to the intention of the company. And we are constantly updating and organizing training sessions on the platform. At the moment, everyone that is already onboarded on the platform can also provide feedback to us via the platform itself. We do have a public page, and here I'm looking a bit at you. I said, and you have here a list of all the information that you can find on the platform. As Commission, we are really brainstorming internally to make this page a bit more user-friendly, let's say, because there is an amount of information that may be difficult to find for people that are not extremely familiar with our processes. And so we are looking to create some dedicated pages, as I said, for not only for experts, but also for health technology developers. And we are happy to work then when we will get a bit closer to some kind of draft to work together with the technology developers associations on this. As I said, you will find the table with the ongoing joint clinical assessment on our website, and some material, including some frequently asked questions. Now we have one of these that the Commission has published on the scope of the joint clinical assessments, but we will have more. As mentioned also in the opening statement, the Commission has the important task to provide an evaluation of the regulation. This work will be, let's say, will be in the form of a report that the Commission will present to Parliament and Council by January 2028. But the work is actually starting way earlier, so starting now, because then this report, you see here some of the aspects that will be included in the report, including the added value of the regulation, the non-duplication, and whether the regulation should function on a different support framework, meaning whether fees should be introduced. But this work is really relying on a report that we will receive from member states in advance, and here we are really looking forward to collaborating with the heads of HTA agencies group, where we will work together on how to ensure that this national reporting is really fit for member states' needs, and it fits into the work on the evaluation. We are also closely working with the stakeholder network, where we have launched very recently an evaluation working group, and we will co-create together the framework for the evaluation. So just to conclude, I'm happy to say that there is a lot ahead of us, but it's good that each one of us is contributing to this process, and I hope we can continue to do so in the future. As Commission, as I said, we are really focusing not only on our, let's say, mandatory role under the regulation, but to work more on the communication, raise awareness here towards experts, technology developers, how to better target also their needs. And we also have to keep in mind, as usual, that the regulation is not implemented in a vacuum, and there is a lot happening in terms of EU new initiatives. We also have to navigate there. We will have a EU Biotech Act soon. We have the Critical Medicines Act already there, the Pharma Review. So a lot. And we are happy to work together with all of you on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Valentina. Great presentation. I keep in mind one of your slides, you put a blue box. Any other suggestion?
Yes.
This could be a good way to start our discussion at the end of this part. Thank you.